conviction, and secondly, even if there was, that it would not be in the public interest.
Why would it not be in the public interest? A member of the Prime Minister's office assaulted a member of the media in a blatant and on camera even. He's one of the most powerful people in the country.
All the world as if a man accidentally bumps into another person.
It is now clear that Justin Trudeau's iron-fisted grip on Canada's judiciary knows no bounds. You might remember Terry Guillon. He is the PMO staffer, Justin Trudeau's media liaison and former head of the Parliamentary Press Gallery, who body-checked me in a hockey rink in Meadow Lake, Saskatchewan, while I was covering the Prime Minister speaking to Indigenous leaders. Now, there was an RCMP investigation into this. It lasted a few months, and of course the mainstream media just chose not to cover Trudeau's team getting investigated by the RCMP, but nevertheless this investigation lasted months, and then a package was sent to the Crown Prosecutor to determine whether or not they would press charges, because it's up to the Crown Prosecutor at the end of the day to do so. And I got this really weird call from the RCMP saying that, well, sorry, even after all of this work, they decided just not to go ahead with it. Listen to the RCMP here.
So Crown has reviewed the file, like the Crown prosecutions, and they will not be laying a charge at this time.
Why is that?
Basically, that's all of the information I have at this point. They've reviewed it, and that's what they're not going to be laying a charge.
What's your take on this? Is this normal?
When Crown reviews the package, they make the ultimate decision.
Okay. Was your suggestion to push with charges? Like, I mean, it was pretty clear. He body checked me.
Okay, I don't make a suggestion whether or not. I give all the information as well as the investigation, the full investigation, and then I send it all to Crown, and they review the package, and they're the ones that make the decision or not.
Okay. I seem to recall something about a document that victims are allowed to see about if charges are not pursued. There's something that's supposed to be compiled, and am I
at this point, the only information I have is due to for privilege between Crown and police. I'm not able to release that document.
Now, I wasn't just going to leave it at that, so I called the public prosecutor to see why they made this decision. I thought I was entitled to a reason as to why they were not going to move forward with this. Now, when considering whether or not to move forward with charges, the public prosecutor looks at two things. First, they want to know if there's a reasonable chance of conviction. Well, lucky me, this was on camera, and not only was the body check on camera here, him stalking me around the hockey rink throughout the afternoon was evident in the video that we posted publicly on YouTube. And the second lens that they look through is whether or not it is in the public interest to prosecute. Now, this one is a little bit fishy, and it's what I want you to keep in mind while you listen to this call between me and the public prosecutor's office.
I understand that you called and spoke to someone in our front office staff about a matter that you had referred to the police.
Yeah. So the question that I had was your office, I believe, decided not to press charges against Terry Guillon, someone who assaulted me back in May. And I'm wondering if there's a document that's available to me to show why you guys made that decision.
In general, I can tell you that there are two criteria that we look to or consider if we're being asked by the police to provide an opinion about whether something should proceed to prosecution or not. And one is there a reasonable prospect of conviction? Mm-hmm. Case goes to court. If there's not, then we're not going to lay a charge. Mm-hmm. And the second criteria is that even if there is sufficient evidence to give you some confidence that you could get a conviction in court, is it in the public interest? Not every event that could be prosecuted needs to be prosecuted.
Why do you think this would not be in the public interest?
Well, Well, I'm not going to get into the details of that with you. One of my colleagues looked at the material on our file and considered that in this case, there were both reasons to believe that it should not be prosecuted. Firstly, that there is no reasonable prospect of conviction, and secondly, even if there was, that it would not be in the public interest.
Why would it not be in the public interest? A member of the Prime Minister's office assaulted a member of the media in a blatant and on camera even. He's one of the most powerful people in the country.
All the world as if a man accidentally bumps into another person.
You think that was accidental?
It looks for all the world as if it were. And if you were to take something like that to court, I think that's what a judge would interpret that to be as well.
But you said it's not in the public interest, which is different than a judge figuring one way or the other. I think a judge would see clearly that Terry Guillon body checked me in broad daylight in front of hundreds of people. You said that it's not in the public interest. And I don't understand how it's not in the public interest to prosecute one of the most powerful people in the country for abusing physically and intimidating a member of the media, someone whose job it is for him to deal with. I just don't understand how that's not in the public interest. Yeah. Is it not in Justin Trudeau's interest or the public's interest?
I'm not going to respond to any of those suggestions or imputations. I simply am telling you that there will not be a prosecution.
Yeah, I think that I would disagree with you that it was an accident. I think the majority of Canadians who see that video would disagree it's an accident. Would I be able to give you my email so that you could clarify with me that document that I'm
not going to engage in an email exchange with you.
Why is that?
I just don't wish to do that.
Is it not your job to deal with victims who have been assaulted?
Excuse me, sir. You wanted to know why, and I've explained it.
Now, why wouldn't he want this on the record? Luckily, the call was recorded, but why wouldn't he want to speak to me over email where there was a paper trail where we could post their reasons for making this decision? Now, I suppose it's not the most outrageous decision to make. Maybe he truly thought that a judge wouldn't convict Terry Guillon for being the thug that he is. I tend to have my doubts nowadays after SNC-Lavalin when the judiciary in Canada has to deal with Trudeau's team. A healthy amount of skepticism, I think, is warranted these days. I want to know what you think. Do you think that this was reasonable? Do you think it was not in the public interest to press this case? Let me know in the comments of this YouTube video. Thanks so much for watching. For Rebel News, I'm Keean Bexte. Thanks so much for watching our coverage here at Rebel News. If you liked what you saw, be sure to like and subscribe, and maybe purchase yourself a premium subscription for yourself or your friends and family in the lead up to the Christmas season.